Time to talk basketball, and the man who does that on The Informer is Alex Caiafa. NBL Cup, you told me it was going to be short and sharp. Well, it's over.
It is over. 36 games in 18 days, completely finished, and we have a winner, and it's that team that feels like they win everything. It's the Perth Wildcats. They went 7-1 in the NBL Cup, and they've just returned to that team that we've just become so accustomed to.
Mate, I remember one of the first reports we did, and you said to me, Perth just can't seem to get anything right or anything going. Well, it took a cup competition to get them fired up.
It definitely has. John Mooney, Bryce Cotton, Todd Blanchfield and those boys, they've just fired up, and you know, anytime there's a cup competition where they can win a trophy or something of that, they just go to another level, and
Okay.
They've been immense.
Well, and they're even more dangerous because they've still got a game in hand.
They do. They've got a game in hand on Melbourne. So Melbourne currently sit on top of the ladder at 10-4, but Perth are right on their tails at 9-4, and if they win their game in hand, they likely go top of the ladder. So what a change.
Let's talk Southeast Magic.
The Phoenix, yeah.
I'll do it again.
Yeah.
Why is it I have this problem? Southeast Melbourne. Look, I need to stop thinking like that because we have moved on. Yeah, everyone's moved on except me. So let's talk about Mitch, one of their stars.
Yeah, so in a bit of bad news for Southeast Melbourne before we get to the good news. One of their stars, Mitch Creek, is unable to train and play until further notice after being allegedly found of assaulting a woman last year. So that's not great news.
Stop. We talk about domestic violence.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Let's. I'll just pick that up again, not from the start, just from an edit point. We'll talk about Southeast Melbourne.
Yeah.
And talk about domestic violence charge. Yeah. He's facing domestic violence charges. Yeah. Don't talk about, Yeah. Okay. Let's talk about Southeast Melbourne.
Yeah. So we've got a bit of good news, but we've also got a bit of bad news. We'll start with the bad news first, and that's one of their stars, Mitch Creek, has been told by the club that he is unable to train and play until further notice after being alleged domestic violence charges. So,
so he's facing those charges.
He's facing those charges. He's unable to play until further notice, which is a bit of blow for Southeast Melbourne, because now we get to the good news about them. They're starting to really roll. They're starting to win some games. They've got their star recruit Ryan Brokoff. He's played his first couple of games now, and he's slotted in nicely as a shooter, which is what they were missing.
Have they got someone to step in and play the role of Mitch in that regard?
They do. They've got a guy by the name of Ben Moore who comes off the bench and plays a pretty key role. He can step in very nicely and fill that role.
Now tell me, I noticed the Breakers have released one of their stars, and he's found a new home in the blink of an eye.
Yeah, so Lamar Patterson, which has been a really interesting story, he just signed with New Zealand this season, and injuries and just as a result of a couple of other things, he just never got things rolling, and he was released by New Zealand. And sure enough, he's found his way back to the Brisbane Bullets, the team that he recently moved from to go to New Zealand. So it's an interesting
No truth in the rumour.
Yeah.
Hang on, there's no truth in the rumour that he got to New Zealand and realised that they speak a different language. No, I'm being facetious.
No, he's a very good player. He's been a superstar in our league for the last couple of years, and it was a shame that we didn't get to see the full wrath of him at New Zealand, but hopefully now he's at Brisbane. He feels a bit more at home. We'll see
and he's recovered.
We'll see the best out of Patterson.
Okay. More basketball next week with Alex Caiafa. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks, George.